Hey YouTube, it's Sean, Griffin RC Plane. So hey, the SPEKTRUM DXS transmitter, we're going to change this transmitter from mode 1 to mode 2. Mode 2 is what all we are flying with, what we know, that the throttle and the rudder are on the left hand stick, and the elevator and the aliens are on the right hand stick. This is mode 1, so it's backwards. As you can see, this one on the left here is spring loaded in both directions. So this is the elevator, that's the aliens, this is the throttle and the rudder. But we need to flip-flop it. It's pretty simple to do. I'm going to show you step by step real quick. You're going to need a screwdriver to take the 6 screws out of the back. You're going to need a smaller screwdriver to adjust the tension on the spring, and let's get into it. I got this transmitter just to do videos for you guys, but this is in mode 1. It looks like it's going to be pretty simple to change it to mode 2. Mode 2 is what we all know. Let's pull it up on the old TV here so you guys can see the instructions that I'm going to be seeing for the very first time. I've got my computer connected to the TV, and here we are with the instructions. I went to SPEKTRUM's website and pulled up the DXS transmitter manual, and I'm looking at it for the first time, just like you guys are. So this is a stick mode change instructions via trim programming. So we're going to use the trimmers. And step 1, it says to enter trim programming mode, push and hold the alien and the rudder trim buttons outward while you power on the transmitter. And at that point, we're going to get one of the lights to light up in the battery level telemetry gauge. And if the far left one is lit up only, it's mode 1. If the second one is mode 2, and so on. And then it tells us how to change it. It says once we figure out what mode it is, use the right up trimmer to select your desired stick mode. So we'll just push it up until maybe the light changes, and then it says to press the A button to save your selection. And then that's it. And then we have to manually make the sticks work how we want. You know, we want the one on the left to be like this one. So we're going to open up the transmitter and make it happen. All right, first things first. Don't throw away this cardboard carton that the transmitter comes in, because it's good to use when you're working on them. You know, when we need to flip it over here in a second, we can lay it down there and nothing will be damaged. So step 1, make sure you have your batteries in it. It says to hold the trimmer switches outward while you power it on. And we have mode 1 because only one light, the first light on the left, is lit up. And it says to use this trimmer here and push up until you get to the next mode that you want. You know, mode 1, 2, 3, and 4. We want mode 2. There's 2. And to save it, it says press the A button. I guess it's saved. So let's turn it back on with the trimmers wide open to make sure that we're in our mode 2 now. And there we are, mode 2. So now we're going to change the sticks. It's really not that hard. Turning it off. Got to flip it over. The sticks are being protected because we got our carton here. Take the batteries out, and then the 6 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Got the 6 screws out. I find these little pads right here are good to have in case the screw runs away or something. There's 2 plugs underneath here. So when you lift up, there's that one right there, and then there's one up front. This one on the bottom You just pull it straight out, like so. And the one on top, right there, gets pulled straight up. Just be kind of gentle with it. Now it's opened up. Don't want to lose your screws. It says to locate the centering screw to take away the spring on the stick that has the spring in both directions. Remember, the elevator and the aliens are on the left stick with full spring, and we want to make the right stick spring in both directions. So we need to get rid of the springiness on this one. And the centering screw is right here. And it says to hold the stick up. You can see it's still springy. I'm holding it up. And we're going to screw this guy in. And that's going to get rid of the up and down spring on that stick. Alright, so now no longer springy, but we want to put spring tension on the left stick. So we need to find the centering screw and the spring for that stick. Here is the centering screw for it. And this is the screw that puts tension on the spring that we're about to make active. So first, we're going to screw this screw down, and that's going to pull the spring up to put some tension on it. And you'll have to play with that to get a feel for what you want. But right now we just want some tension on it so the spring doesn't jump off once we make the spring active. So now I'm going to hold the stick up, and we're going to find our centering screw, which is right here, and we're going to back it out. We're not going to back it out where it falls off and we lose it, but we're going to back it out until we can see that backing it out more will not make a difference. You can see the shininess of the screw right there. See the centering screw, and then we can see the threads underneath it. See the silver threads just under the wire. We're going to back it out until we don't see those threads anymore. So holding throttle stick up, centering screw, backing it out. And I'm watching the screw to see that it is almost all the way out. Okay, now we got springiness. But it's not quite as firm as I want. So we're going to tighten the tension spring a little bit more by screwing it down. Maybe a little bit more, put some more spring in it. I want a little bit more. All right. Now, these little metal straps right here are the tension straps. You can see that this one is down compared to this one. This one I'm touching, if it was screwed down, it would make the stick kind of a ratchet as you move it up and down, click, click, click. And this one just puts a little pressure on it just to hold it in spot. Well, we made this stick springy, so we don't need anything to hold it in place. Maybe a little bit of resistance is okay, but just gonna back that guy out, and then let's check our springiness now. I say we got some pretty good spring. Now the stick on the left is now our throttle. So we want a little resistance on this one, so as we can kind of feel it go up. You know, we don't want to bump it and have it move up. So that is now this one, right? We want to put a little resistance on it. So these metal straps right here need to be turned down to put a little resistance on them. You can see the screws are way high, so there's not any resistance on them. The one on the right makes the ratchet sound. That's the little indentation right there. Let's tighten. We'll tighten both of them down, but the one on the left for resistance will tighten more. Screw has a long ways to go before it's doing anything. All right, let's put our lid back on it. Verify real quick that now we have a normal mode transmitter. We got spring for the elevator and spring for the aliens. We got throttle with a little bit of the ratcheting, but we got some resistance on it. And then we got the spring for the rudder. Goes like so. Make sure you get it straight in there and push it straight down and make sure it's in. The battery one slides in. Just like so. And then gently get the lid back straightened out and kind of just look underneath it and make sure you're not pinching any wires. There's not a whole lot in there to get pinched, which is good. It's pretty simple. Sealed and sealed. Drop our screws back in. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, seis. All right, let's load our batteries back into it real quick before we do that. This white plug right here is where you plug in an SRXL receiver. If you're wanting to use this transmitter for training purposes, so you can link two transmitters together, you would need a separate receiver in the transmitter, because the transmitter is going to bind to the airplane, and then you need to bind another transmitter to this transmitter, so you can have two transmitters going at once. So that's where you would plug in the other receiver. That's why this little pocket is here. And then this other little plug down right, kind of hard to see right there. That's where you plug in the update cable that this transmitter came with. We got tons and tons and tons of videos coming on that stuff too. There's lots to do with this transmitter. So there's even little directions on how to do some programming right here on the battery lid. So that guy, the DXE transmitter was the one before this, and it actually had an SRXL2 receiver built into it, so that you could use the DXE as a trainer radio as well. Battery lid's on. Let's take a look at our mode 2 DXS. Throttle, rudder, elevator, and the aliens. And then we'll turn it on real quick, holding the trimmers out. And it's in mode 2, just like that. All right, we'll put this guy back in his little home, and then we got plenty of videos to do in the future on it. Plenty of videos. This is the update cable it comes with. It plugs in the back. They're in the battery compartment, and then you can plug your USB program cable to it, and that's how you can update it and change the transmitter for different planes, and change this switch maybe to operate the landing gear instead of safe or flight modes, or there's other things you can do with this transmitter, and we will do several videos on that in the future. Plus I've got the new reflex to do videos on. I haven't even touched that yet, but apparently you can connect that thing to an app or something and do programming with it. New reflex is red. Comes with the USB-C program cable, plus it comes with the servo leads. So we got plenty of stuff to do on the new reflex. We got stuff to do with forward programming. We need to learn the AS3X Plus programming. We got tons and tons and tons of winter stuff to do. So I'm Sean. I'm your Spectrum guy. I don't do a whole lot of flying because it's hard to film and fly all at the same time. But I just want to help you guys get your plane in the air. You know, because if it wasn't for E-Flight and Spectrum and Horizon Hobby and all them guys, if it wasn't for them putting out Safe Select, I wouldn't be here and you probably wouldn't be either. So I want to help everybody do the best that they can do with their Spectrum powered airplanes. That is why I'm here, guys. That's why I got this DXS. I got this DXS really cheap, you know, new in the box. I actually got two of them. I think I got two of them for 60 bucks new. The reason they were 60 bucks new is because of the Mode 1. And somewhere on the box here it says Mode 1. They're right there, MD1. That's why I got it so cheap. I don't know much about the Mode 3 and 4, but the Mode 1 versus Mode 2 is just the sticks being backwards. You know, I guess compare it to different parts of the world where they drive on the opposite side of the highway than we drive on in here in the U.S. So, you know, left-hand drive and right-hand drive. That's it. So, hey guys, hey, thank you so much. And at 20,000 subscribers, we're going to do a 3-jet giveaway, so it can happen sooner than later. Okay, like, share, subscribe. Make sure you're still subscribed. For some reason, people are being unsubscribed without them doing it themselves. So, thank you guys. Until next time, you'll see me here.